Good morning. Welcome to our service for Sunday, August 18th, 2024. Come on in and have a seat, get settled. Do you feel comfy, safe, cozy? Greetings to our beloved online community. We extend our deep gratitude for your presence today. As fellow seekers on this spiritual path, we embrace the opportunity to connect with you, so please reach out in person or online. As divine beings, we are more than our physical body. True wholeness comes when we recognize that our essential nature is divine, inherently good, and connected to Source. In unity, we know that wholeness isn't about perfection, it's about embracing our entirety, the full, brilliant, and messy array of light and darkness. Today, we invite you to explore the divinity within our totality with Reverend John Beerman as we embrace all aspects of ourselves and integrate the whole mess of our wholeness. Yeah, I didn't make it up. I just get to say it. Now, let's stand and join Julie Reagans, Curtis Pringle, Bruce Wayne, and Michael Stevens as we sing our welcome song.
Please join me as we affirm our statement of faith together. There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And now we unite our spirits as we hold this vision for our church. We are an open-hearted spiritual community, powerfully transforming our world by honoring the sacred in all. And we practice this mission together. Inspired by our shared spiritual awakening, we offer practical teachings that empower healthy, abundant, and meaningful living. Today's daily word reading is wholeness, and the affirmation is, as a divine being, I am whole. I know I am whole, wondrously made, and a unique expression of the divine. But I cannot truly know wholeness if I become distracted by an experience of illness or thoughts of lack or limitation. I do not resist limiting thoughts. Instead, I let the light of divine understanding dissolve the darkness of spiritual ignorance. Remembering that divine life lives as me, I affirm my body's wholeness even if I am experiencing illness. Growing awareness of the limitless flow of divine ideas reminds me I have all I need to experience a joyous, abundant life. As I say yes again and again to my true spiritual nature, my life becomes an ever-unfolding demonstration of wholeness. And from Luke 11:36, if then your whole body is full of light, and no part of it is in darkness, it will be as a full light as back up. It will be as full of light as when a lamp gives you light with its rays. And now our gathering prayer, Cecilia Timon.
Sorry, good morning. Let's take this into prayer. Take a breath. Just find and feel your center. Today, I am ready to be open to a different way to feel my inner spirit. I know that there is this beautiful, divine presence all around me, and I also know that this presence is inside of me. Sometimes I forget, but I know it's there. I know it flows gracefully all around the inside of me. And this includes the beautiful divine gift of my capacity to understand and be fulfilled with mental, physical, and spiritual wholeness. I know wholeness is a divine gift that is there in the substance for me, and all I have to do is call it and claim it. So in this very moment, I claim that I am loved, I am appreciated, I am whole, I am well. This absolute truth never changes, even if I forget. I know that I can use this in the most difficult times in my life. I remember that I have the capacity to stop and really listen to myself and feel and acknowledge what is going on. And then I take a deep breath and I wait to remember I am loved and I love myself. I am blessed and I allow blessings to flow. I am appreciated and I value every part of me just the way I am right now. This is my birthright. I am grateful that I have these teachings to remind me. I am grateful that I have my life experiences to practice with. I am grateful for my community that helps me to feel and remember who I really am. And so it is. It is so.
Yeah. What do we say? Yes, 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 life. I'm saying yes, 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 life. I'm saying yes, 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 life. Oh, I'm saying yes. I'm saying yes. Yes, life. I'm saying yes, 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 life. I'm saying yes, 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 life.
Thank you, Julie, Curtis, and the band. We've got a new person with us this morning. You want to introduce him?
This is Michael Stevens.
Hey, Michael. Good to have you. So I'm saying yes to life. Wow. Reminds me of the Jim Carrey movie, Yes Man. How many have seen it? It's a good one. It's a good one. So how's your whole mess doing this morning? How's your whole mess doing? I'm going to like to borrow your imagination this morning if I could. So let's kind of increase our faculty of imagination. And let's just include the entire sanctuary and everybody that's at home. Let's include them as well in this circle, this wholeness, this imaginary circle of wholeness. And just bring the ones that are home watching on live stream into that. And we're going to be looking at your faces, right? So we're seeing your faces kind of as I see them from up here this morning. And you bring your full awareness to this circle of light and love, this wholeness. Now, each of us brings our attention, our imagination into this circle based on where we are on our spiritual path. So we're all in different places, and no one's ahead of another. There's no one behind, there's no one ahead, there's no one more spiritual or less spiritual, but our awareness is different. So just see this circle with all these faces, loving, kind faces, with different awarenesses. And as our awareness grows, each of us within this circle, we get closer to Source. We get closer and closer to the center of this circle. Eventually, in this lifetime, maybe in another lifetime, we reach that centermost point, the source of all that is. And then we bring our wholeness to this full circle of love and light. And we bring it to the entire planet. So one by one, 2 by 2, 3 by 3, we're all approaching a full awareness of wholeness in which we will be totally united with Spirit. So that is one way of looking at wholeness, that we're on this journey, this wonderful journey in unity toward an experience that our awareness now recognizes that we're fully whole, fully awake, and fully alive. Let's look at it a different way. Wholeness is one of those ness words. You kind of watch the ness words. Wholeness, oneness, forgiveness, righteousness. Those are words that kind of get your attention, the ness words. So let's look at wholeness another way. Let's look at wholeness as an accordion. And so when we expand this accordion out, that is wholeness in its fully expanded form. And as we bring the accordion together to play music, notes are formed. And each of those notes represents one of you. So my question would be, which note are you? Which note are you? I think I'm a B sharp or a B flat, I'm not certain. But we're all playing different notes in this melody of life. But we all come together in wholeness. It's really a marvelous thing when you think of it. If your eye Somewhere in Matthew it says, if your eye is single and your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. So as the eye is healthy, the full body is full of light. And that's wholeness. That's another way of looking at wholeness. So what does that mean? The eye. Now, when I think of the eye, I think of the third eye. You might even, if you wanted to, touch your third eye. It's a very sensitive spot. And I shared my spiritual experience that I had with the third eye at one point. So it's a very spiritual aspect of who we are. So it seems that if our spiritual awareness is tuned in to the full understanding of spirit, then our bodies are going to be full of light. We're going to be healthy. We're going to be whole. But we can't all be there all the time. We can't always be in this awareness of our light and love. We go through various changes and various circumstances in our life. Many of us have been through experiences where we see our dark side. We come in contact with our dark side. In fact, the late, great Debbie Ford, some of you know, wrote a book about it. And it's called Embracing the Dark Side of the Light Chasers. So in unity, I would say you and I are light chasers, right? Would you agree with that? Yes. And so we don't really talk much in unity about our dark side. We don't mention it much. We don't really elaborate on it. But we all have this dark side. And so let me tell you what it is, if you don't, and I'm sure many of you already are aware of this. The shadow wears many faces. Fearful, greedy, angry, selfish, manipulative, lazy, controlling, da-da-da-da-da, undeserving, etc., etc. The list goes on and on. Our dark side acts as a storehouse for all of these unacceptable aspects of ourselves. All the things we pretend not to be, and all of the aspects that embarrass us. Does anybody have any of that? These are the faces that we don't want to show the world. Not only do we, and that's bad enough, but that we don't want to show ourselves. We don't want ourselves to see them. Some of the psychologists in the room are nodding. So how do we integrate that? We're going to do an exercise in a minute. But I want to read another paragraph. We live under the impression that in order for something to be divine, it has to be perfect. I think in all the readings, the daily word, the prayer this morning, we all made very clear that wholeness is not about perfection. But don't we associate in our minds divinity with perfection? We think it has to be perfect. We are mistaken. This is Debbie. We are mistaken. In fact, the exact opposite is true. To be divine is to be whole, and to be whole is to be everything. So now we're starting to get a little tricky here, folks. To be divine is to be whole, and to be whole is to be everything, the positive and the negative, the good and the bad, the holy man and the devil. When we take the time to discover our shadow, take the time and the energy and the courage to discover our shadow and its gifts, we will understand what Jung meant by the gold is in the dark. Each of us needs to find that gold in order to reunite with our sacred self. And I got to tell you, I've been doing a little of this work, and it's really remarkable. And I want to do a little exercise with you if you're willing. But it's really remarkable what can happen when something comes up in an interaction during your week, and that shadow self makes its appearance. You know, remember that show, The Shadow Knows? And the shadow comes out, and you don't want to see it. You just want to force it down. You just don't want to deal with it. And then maybe it'll even act out. It might say something, or it might do something. And you're going, oh, I don't want to deal with that. Well, see, what Jung is saying, Carl Jung, is that there's gold in that. There's gold in those hills. There's gold in that if we're careful to mine it and to be carefully mining it. And the way to mine it is to love it. So if you want to, this is an optional exercise. Not all of you have to do it. Some of you have probably done work similar to this. But what I would ask you to do this morning is just to take a minute to relax. And if you want to, if you're comfortable, allow your eyes to close, and you can do that at home. Do this exercise at home as well. And just think back over the last few days. Don't go way back. Just think back over the last few days. And something came up. Something has come up in a conversation, and the bank teller may have told you you're overdrawn. You discovered a new illness that you didn't know you had an argument with a close friend, and then something came up from within you that reacted to that in a negative way. And what I want you to do is just allow yourself, if you would, to re-experience that time. Just allow that to, just play that scene over again in your mind. Here you find yourself confronted with this. Maybe you don't know what it is. Maybe you don't know what to call it, but it was uncomfortable. You felt some uncomfort in your body. And just take a moment as you're reliving this incident to ask a question. Ask a question of that shadow self. What gift are you bringing me? What gift are you bringing me? And you may not immediately have an answer. But this is a practice that we can do in our daily lives. When something happens in our lives, and we can come back now and open our eyes. When something happens in our daily life, and it certainly happens to me often, and I'm certain to all of us, that brings that shadow self to light, we can ask, what gift are you bringing me? You see, because what's happening here is that's where the gold is in that, it's that willingness and that courage and that open-mindedness to look at it. Because when you look at it, it goes away. That's why they call it a shadow self. When you engage it, it goes away. And it's coming to bring you a gift. And that gift is wholeness. When we deal with that, that gift is your wholeness. It's your whole self. You see, and we only want to love those parts of us that we're proud of, where we've been a good parent or we've been a good spouse. You know, I emptied the dishwasher yesterday, and when Charlotte got home, I made sure she knew about it. You know, things like that. We want that to be, everybody to know that. You know, I went and shot a 68 the other day on the golf course, or I wrote a new song and I sang it. So glad to see Carly back today in the curtain. Thank you for being there. You know, so we want that to be recognized, but we don't want to recognize the fact that we also maybe said, Charlotte, that those eggs weren't done, you know, or the toast was dry and burnt, which it wasn't. And those aspects of ourselves, if we can begin today, and I know many of you are already working on this, God bless you, to love those aspects of ourselves that we really don't like. And I'm not going to say it's hard, but it takes persistence. It's a challenge to work with it, and to continue to work with it. And then what happens, you start to feel this lightness. How many have ever done a hot air balloon? Okay, you like it? Isn't it fun? I know I did one in Colorado Springs. But I'll tell you what, don't eat a big breakfast and have a lot of coffee before you go up. Not a good idea. But when you're going up, they have to take some weights and throw them off, don't they? Boom, boom, boom. And then the hot air balloon begins to rise. And it feels so light. It feels light. And that's what I've been feeling lately in doing a little of this work, just a little. A little of it goes a long way. Just feeling light. Like, all that carrying around all that stuff that we've been carrying all these years that we didn't want anybody to see. We didn't even want to acknowledge on our own. And start to eject that stuff or accept it or whatever you can do with it to lighten your load. And that's wholeness. It's a whole different ball game. It really is. And so I wanted to quote one of my favorite teachers, Lawrence Freeman, who is a Benedictine monk. He studied English literature at Oxford University, and he's currently director of the World Community for Christian Meditation, a global, inclusive, contemplative community. So they do a lot of meditation, and that's one of the things that allows us to recognize our wholeness is meditation. And here's what he says. Wholeness is your capacity to experience health as transcending all limitations while accepting them. So we're going to we're going to go beyond our limitations by accepting them. So we're going to go beyond our dark side by embracing it. It's the name of the book, Embracing the Dark Side of the Light Chasers. And here he's speaking my language, overcoming the virus of perfectionism. We talked about that last week. Man, I catch myself in that, having to have everything just so. Getting ready on Sunday mornings, a perfect example, everything. I thought, heck with it, Doesn't matter. I don't think I'll use any deodorant today. What the heck? Nobody will notice. The virus of perfectionism, which keeps us locked into an imaginary world. I never thought of it that way. So I don't know how many of you are perfectionists. It keeps us locked in an imaginary world. It's not real. It's all in our heads. The real world is whole. It's full. So that we can, it's paradoxically in accepting limitations that we can transcend them. So we transcend our limitations by accepting them. At times, we are going to think of ourselves from time to time as less than whole. It's just natural. But when that happens, we can realize that we are whole, even with our shortcomings. Our entirety is whole. Our whole entirety, body, soul, and mind, is whole with all of its limitations. So we've been trying to get beyond our limitations by trying to overcome them. We've had the cart in front of the horse. We overcome our limitations by accepting them, embracing them. Well, good old Paul, remember Paul, he was quite the Christian, right? Remember he was trying to spread the word all over. I don't think he ever actually met Jesus, but he was trying to spread the word of the Christian message. And so he was writing to these people in Thessalonica that were part of his tribe. He had started a little colony of new Christians practicing Christianity much differently than you see in the churches today. More like the way we are, I believe. So they believed, I was teaching a class as a licensed teacher in Colorado Springs at the Unity Church there, and one of the students who had been to every class toward the end of I think we were going like 5 weeks. At the end of she asked me, what does Unity feel about the rapture? And I went, oh, I don't know. Well, think about it. The second coming of Christ, wouldn't that be coming to terms with the fullness and the wholeness that you are through Christ's consciousness? Wouldn't that be a second coming? Now, we're not all doing it at once. It's not out there. It's not being done out there. It's being done within us. So maybe we're the new generation. Maybe we're what's going to change the world through the work that we do internally on ourselves by accepting our defects or our limitations and allowing them to be whole. And to allow this second coming to come within us so that we have a full realization. And that's why we come here in a community. It's tough work on your own. You know, Buddhists have sanghas and, various ways of getting it. All religions come together, and that's why we come together on Sundays and Wednesdays and whenever to support each other as we allow this second coming being the teachings of Jesus, to really come into our hearts and minds and to begin to live through that. Instead of trying to live up to somebody else's expectations of us, we're living up to our own God-given expectations of ourselves. Yes. You see, it's different. And it's wonderful, and it's what's going to transform this world. One person, one community at a time. Don't want to leave out my good friend, not my good friend, but my teacher, one of my teachers, Paramahansa Yogananda. And he's the one that I've referenced before in this little book. And he says that on every altar of feeling, thought, and will, in other words, in every aspect of us, God is sitting. So that's wholeness. God is sitting. Thou art all feeling, will, and thought. Thou dost guide them. Let them follow. Let them follow. Let them be as thou art. In the temple of consciousness. Now, what's the temple of consciousness? We talked about that a couple of weeks ago when we talked about oneness. The consciousness is this universal consciousness, God consciousness. It's an energy field, if you want. So in this temple of consciousness, there was the light. Thy light. I saw it not. But now I'm seeing it. I'm seeing this light. For the first time, I'm waking up to this light that is in the universe. But I've been so busy, worried about everything in my life, my health, my finances, my relationships, my work, everything else, that I haven't seen the light. But I'm beginning to see it by being still. Being still. I've seen the light. I woke and laughed. Oh, I dreamt a dream that I was ill, but I woke and I laughed. Wow. I woke and I laughed because it's not a dream. This consciousness is real. You see, I dreamt this dream that I was ill and that I was bereft and that I was hurt and that I was sick, but that was a dream. The reality is that you and I and all of us together are a consciousness of love and light and the power and presence of God. So we can just relax. Emily Cady talks about it when she talks about us being like, drops in the ocean. You all know that one, where every drop has the same consistency as the ocean. So every one of you has the same exact consistency as God. It's just that our journey together is quite simple. It's realizing it. It's recognizing it. Some of you in here have already done that, thank God. And others like myself, are still working on it. And the journey to wholeness is all about acceptance. Accepting who we are. Warts and all. Who we are, warts and all. So, 3 simple steps. And then I'm going to end with a little poem. 3 simple steps to practice wholeness. Number 1, begin now to experience wholeness in your meditation. So I know we're spending time in meditation, 5 minutes to 10 minutes to 20 minutes, whatever you're doing, but take some time in the morning for meditation. And when you're in that meditation, repeat your mantra, I am that I am, and I am whole. Can you say that with me? I am that I am, and I am whole. When you're triggered, I don't know about you, but I get triggered a lot, and your shadow comes out as a reaction, acknowledge it and ask it, what can you reveal? Tell me what you want to reveal to me. Teach me. Let me learn let me pick some gold here. Let me find some gold in this part of me that I've been forcing away for all these years. Let me find some gold. And number 3, in your time of prayer, concentrate on spirit, realizing spirit is whole and that you are a unique expression of spirit. So when you are praying and meditating, just know that spirit's whole and you're a unique expression of that wholeness. And you too are whole, body, mind, and spirit. We may not fully recognize it yet, but we're still, nevertheless, whole. So I want to close with a little poem. I don't even know if it's a poem. I don't know what it is. But I wrote it last night, and I want to read it to you, if that's okay. I am whole because I'm connected to the source of all that is. I am whole because I have all I need to be simply me. I am whole because you and I are one in love and light. You and I are one. I am whole because the universe created mind, body, and soul as one. The universe created me this way, mind, body, and soul. I promise not to look outside myself for power because I'm whole. I promise to hold my head high around kings and common men because I am whole. I was born whole and healthy, and so I will be, regardless of the vicissitudes in life. I retire at night with a grateful heart because wholeness shows me how to behave each day. Wholeness teaches me. When I'm living in wholeness, I can learn from it. I love myself the way I am. And I promise to love you in the same way. Thankful heart, generous spirit, and the whole mess of my conglomeration. The whole mess. So let's close with an affirmation for wholeness for this community, if you would. And our affirmation for wholeness for Unity of Wimberley is that we affirm together our spiritual community is whole, made up of individuals who are realizing their wholeness through loving action and service. And I have seen it, I've witnessed it in the few weeks that I've been here, and it's amazing to see these loving folks come together for a function or for whatever they're doing, and to see their energy and their time and their commitment to this community is really, so I salute each and every one of you. So let's close with a meditation time to be quiet, a time to go within and just embrace our wholeness. So I'd like to suggest that you just get comfortable in your chair. Take a deep breath and release it. Release it fully. And begin this process of breathing in and releasing. We're forming a circle, a cycle of life. We're breathing in and we're releasing. The chi, the energy of life, is coming in to your body, harmonizing, healing, making you whole and healthy. And then you release it and you give back to the universe what you borrowed. You borrowed this wonderful nutrient, and now you're going to give it back, and your body is whole now. So, Father, Mother, God, we thank you for wholeness. For each and every one of us are whole and healthy children of a loving, living God. And we can embrace our wholeness. And we also be in your countenance and your energy and in your love with your wholeness. You made us whole for a reason, so that we could love ourselves and others and do great things on this planet. Give us the strength and courage to love those parts of ourselves that we haven't loved fully in the past. To take that little boy or that little girl into our hearts and surround them with love and light. Hold them gently. Allow them to feel your love. To know that you are protecting them, shading them from harm and misfortune, so that they can play. And you and I can play and dance and sing under the light of God. And let's take a moment in the silence and continue to breathe in and release. Breathing in deeply, releasing. Breathing in and releasing. And now finally recognizing our wholeness. And we can rejoice. And we can be happy. And no matter what comes our way today or this week, we can always go within to that quiet place. Just repeat, I am whole. I am well. I am whole. I am well. And so it is. Amen.
Big breath. Welcome back. With love and gratitude, we activate the law of giving and receiving. As we complete this sacred circle, we affirm that our spiritual community thrives through faith and the generous contributions of all who call it home. Let's take a moment to center our awareness on this truth. As our ushers step forward, let us infuse our offerings with intention and love. To our cherished online family, if this lesson resonates with your soul's growth, please consider including us in your abundance practice. Your support uplifts our shared ministry and journey. For all our giving options, please scan the QR code on the screen. We thank you for the gifts you have already sent and affirm the gifts that you are sending now. And now let us offer this affirmation of abundance together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
You don't have to run around trying to prove yourself. You are made of starlight and wisdom of old. The world will try to tell you to become what you are not, but just remember you are more than enough. There's a beauty in your eyes and a life in your smile. There is goodness in your heart, and you're alive now for a reason. So you better start believing that you're already more than enough. Time stretches on, we get a glance, then it's gone. But miracles happen every day. And don't waste a minute of this life while you are in it, thinking you just don't have what it takes. 'Cause your heartbeats are making waves. And even on your hardest days, there's a wind at your back, moving you steady towards your dreams. And there's nothing that can keep you from the life that you deserve. If you remember, you are more than enough. Just remember, you are more than enough. Oh, keep believing. You are more than enough.
Another sung prayer. Wow. Thanks to all of you. Well, with full hearts, let us bless these gifts together. We bless these gifts and the givers with our love and gratitude. Before we begin our announcements, we wanted to pass on the news that our dear friend Jane Canos made her transition on June 27th. Jane was a cherished soul who graced our Unity Wimberley community from the very inception of our church. She served on our board of trustees, dedicating her time and energy to the betterment of this spiritual home. Her compassion was evident in her volunteer work, from supporting our pool and volunteering with our Peace Pool to caring for our bluebirds. Jane participated in our church family ownership program and was often present at our fundraising events. Beyond her service, she found joy in bridge games and cherished moments with her son Kevin and her family. We will celebrate her life here at the church in October with Reverend John presiding, with more details to follow. Bless you, Jane. We will miss your sweet smile and loving heart. Join us next Sunday as we welcome one of our newest members to our spiritual education team, Charlotte Garrett. Licensed Unity teacher. Please join us for her lesson, Your Hope of Glory. Shall we journey together? And now, Leah Fenn would like to share a few words about yesterday's big tag sale.
Good morning. I just wanted to give you a little update on our fundraiser. Yeah, thank you. You got it. Okay. It was a lot of fun. And I've got to tell you, when we were setting up, I was like, I don't know, you guys. I don't know if we're going to have enough stuff. Maybe we should do this every other year. We should, I'm not really sure. I don't know if this is going to be worthwhile. Well, it turns out we have more than enough. Yeah. And you guys have a lot of stuff. So much stuff that we raised $2,200. Yes. So much fun, so much stuff, so much money. Thank you to all of our volunteers. If you were there helping set up on Friday and helping with the sale yesterday, thank you so much. Thank you, Aida, our fearless leader. Yes, huge round of applause to Aida. It was really awesome. We are still open, so please shop. We are doing a thing where it's fill up a bag for $5. And if you don't want to shop, if you would fill up a bag and take it to the thrift store, that would be very helpful so that we can clean this up. But thank you, and please start thinking about saving things for next year because it is going to be annual.
And a key piece of information, since those items are in that room, the cookies will be in the kitchen today. That feels important to note. It's key, it's on its own paper. Thank you to our Wildlife Workday volunteers. Andrea held a meet and greet at the Serenity Garden, and then they got busy tending to our beautiful grounds. Thank you to everyone who participated. If you have not yet experienced Shane Elmore's breath class, here is a very cool opportunity. On Tuesday, August 20th, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., we will be experiencing our first full moon Pneuma breath class. Ooh. The cost for the class is $25, and you can sign up now with this QR code, which is on the website where you can find it. A portion of the proceeds benefit Unity of Wimberley, and here is something else cool. We have 2 scholarship opportunities to attend this upcoming class. Please email Leah at business@unityofwimberley.com if you are interested. On Sunday, September 15th, Reverend John and Charlotte will be holding a Unity orientation class for anyone interested in joining Unity of Wimberley or learning more about Unity. There will be more information on this class next Sunday, but in the meantime, Reverend John is moving his September 15th meet and greet appointments to September 22nd to accommodate the class. He still has spots available on September 8th and 22nd. Please see Aida if you would like to meet with him. Learn and grow each week with Unity's Wednesday book study group from 11:30 to 1:30, and look for our weekly midday reflection videos on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook on Thursdays. We also invite you to experience kirtan chanting every Sunday morning before the service at 10 a.m., now meeting in the room next to the minister's office. As always, we are collecting for Crisis Bread Basket, food and donations on our front foyer bookcase. You can always send a monetary gift directly to them to the address listed on the screen. Reach out for prayer and care support to the email addresses on the screen. Check our website event page often for upcoming classes, groups, and events. A reminder, Cecilia Timon will be here to pray with you after the service. Our prayer request box and gratitude jar are on the fireside room buffet, and if you're visiting today, please consider filling out a blue information card located on the front foyer table so that we can welcome you properly. Now, let's sing in our kids.
You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright.
Now, let's bless these children. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, just the way you are. And that brings us to the close of our service. Please join us as we pray our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.